because we're going to start, okay? This is your last call. Get your pen and paper. Or get your laptop if you want to do. I don't care how you take your notes, okay? If you're going to have a snack, it better not be chips. I better not hear a bunch of crunches happening in the background, okay? Be respectful. All right? Folded, locked, and loaded. Oh my god. All right. All right. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday. Week 2. You guys are already on week 2. This is very exciting. This week is going to be on Twitch Etiquette. Okay? If you're here live, hi. And if you're watching on YouTube, everyone say hi, YouTube. Might be watching this later. Twitch. Jen, I see you with that Miss Vicky's. I swear to God. I swear. Anyway. Get your notepads ready, please. Anyway, this is on Twitch Etiquette. Okay, it's the do's, it's the don'ts, it's the unspoken rules. Okay, we're going to talk about it. It's not going to be a big, it's not a huge class. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. But today's plan, as always, we're going to do the introduction. Okay, maybe this is your first time here. Maybe you missed last week. That's okay. All right, so we're going to talk about me. Who the F am I? All right, then we're going to talk about basic platform etiquette, like stuff that just kind of applies to everybody across the board, regardless of whether you're a viewer, community member, a streamer, etc. General etiquette, okay? Then we're going to talk about basic etiquette for community members, okay? So if you're watching a stream, if you're participating, if you're in a community, right, what is the etiquette there? And then we're going to talk about the other side of it, which is, of course, the etiquette for streamers, because there's a whole other set of things that if you don't know, you might not realize you're doing these things. That's okay. We're here to learn, right? And then lastly, we're going to touch on boundaries and parasocial interactions, because that's a whole thing that we got to deal with these days. Okay. So, first up, if you know, you know. But if you don't, who the heck am I? Hi, I'm Squish. I'm Canadian. I'm a Twitch streamer. About 6 years, content creator, community mentor for the Twitch Women's Guild, ambassador for Thousand Dreams Fund. I am sadly disabled now. However, prior to becoming disabled, I had a career in training and development. My passion has always been around building community, sustainable growth, and knowledge sharing in the creator space. If you were here last week, you know that I'm going to say it every time. Sustainable growth is slow and patient. Okay? I'm big fans of sustainable growth. I'm not in it to go viral. I play a little bit of everything. I tend to lean towards Metroidvanias and roguelikes. Anything that's going to make me suffer repeatedly. That tends to be my jam when it comes to gaming. But my offline hobbies include spending time with my partner and our 2 pups, Timber and Naya. They're pictured down there. Obsessing over my houseplants and baking. And doing all that good stuff. So that's a little bit about me. Okay. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can catch these live. They happen every Wednesday at 6 p.m. CST. They go up on YouTube a week later. So if you want to join us live, you're welcome to do that. And that's me. Okay. So we're flying today. We're going to talk about basic platform etiquette. This is just standard across the board. Okay. None of this is like crazy information. None of this is new. We're still going to talk about it anyway. Y'all are being ridiculous in the chat right now. I'm ignoring y'all. Anyway, basic platform etiquette. Okay. Every platform kind of develops its own set of etiquette, like unspoken rules, outside of the standard TOS, terms of service, and Twitch is no different. Okay. So I'm not going to talk about like the terms of service. That's everyone knows that. You sign that when you log onto the platform. That's standard. We don't need to talk about that because that's everybody's following that. That's like the required. Okay. We're talking about all the other little stuff. Okay. So while every community does have their own set of rules that are specific to their space, there's some general guidelines that is best to follow regardless of where you are. Okay. Number 1 is the biggest one. This is not just Twitch. Okay. This one is genuinely, it's everywhere. Okay. Don't share personal identifying information for yourself or others in the community. This includes your real names, your ages, locations, workplaces, family members. Okay. Please practice internet safety above all else. Okay. The internet is a public space. You don't know who's there. You don't know who's watching. You don't know if somebody has good intentions or bad. We'd like to hope that everybody has good intentions, but please protect yourself first. Do not share your personal information, and don't share other people's personal information. All right? Be respectful. There's a reason that you create your own username, and there's a reason that we address you by your username. It is to maintain private information. Okay? Please don't do that. Number 2, avoid sensitive subjects such as politics, religion, medical issues. That's kind of your standard. Again, there are always going to be exceptions to these rules. There are maybe going to be some communities that are more open to these, right? We know that there are some channels that their whole thing is politics. Some are very forward with their religious beliefs, and that's totally fine. But your base assumption is going to be that you don't talk about those things, okay? There are certain things that are just, they're more polarizing issues. They're more likely to divide people. So just be mindful, okay? If it doesn't say so, you're going to assume that you're not going to talk about politics, religion, and medical issues, okay? Medical issues just being like, be really, really careful about medical stuff, okay? Like, we don't need to go into like medical history and all of that stuff on the platform. It's just not the place for it. There are other places where you can have conversations where that makes sense. And again, this is as long as you're not in a space that is supposed to be for that, okay? Read the room. Yeah. So number 3, maintain healthy boundaries with content and community members. This isn't necessarily like a specific to Twitch thing. I think this goes for everything. This is just a generally good idea for somebody that lives in a modern age, that the internet is everywhere and it is so massively a part of our life, and you kind of have to be on the internet and you have to exist in that space. But especially if you're a content creator of any kind or you're spending a lot of time online, please make sure that you're maintaining healthy boundaries with the content that you consume and with community members in that space, right? Everybody is trying to protect their own personal information. You're only getting what they're sharing with you, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so just be mindful. Check yourself every once in a while. Make sure that you're still maintaining that healthy boundary and that it's not starting to blur the lines. But we'll talk about that later. Remember that these are general guidelines, and each community may have their own expectations or modifications to general etiquette, right? So if you go into a place and they have it in their panels and they say, hey, this is totally fine here, that's great. But don't assume that it's like that everywhere else. These are just basic platform stuff. Okay? Beautiful. See, now you know basic platform etiquette. It's not a ton of stuff. It's just a few things to be mindful of. Okay? So now that we have that, we're going to talk about community members specifically. Okay? I say community members because I don't like the term viewers. I just don't like the term viewers. I don't like people calling people viewers or audience. I think it makes sense if you're talking about a really big, broad concept. When you're talking about actual people, I don't like calling them viewers. It's just a personal thing for me. I like to call them community members. Okay? You're people. So if you're not a streamer and you're in a community space, you're in a stream space. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay? And most of this is specifically for like first time, or if this is your first time on the platform as somebody who wants to join a community or who is visiting a stream, right? Okay. So if you're visiting someone's stream for the first time, it is a good idea to read the room before you engage. Okay. You don't know them. They don't know you. You are a stranger. Remember that you are entering their space, and the onus is on you to know the rules and make sure you're familiar with any specifics. Okay? It is not anybody's job to teach you how to exist in that space. It's your job to read the rules, okay? And read the room. Spend a little time. You don't immediately have to jump into it and start sharing your humor. Take a little time to see if it matches, right? If they have the same humor that you do, get familiar with people. You're welcome to introduce yourself, but it is your responsibility to make sure that you know where the rules are, that you've read them at least. You do your best, okay? It's not everybody else's job to teach you. So that being said, there are some fairly universal guidelines. Again, these are always going to be guidelines. There are some spaces where some of these things might be entirely okay, or they specifically encourage it, and that's okay. But generally, okay? Number 1, backseat gaming isn't fun for anyone except you. Just don't do it. It shouldn't need a tag. It shouldn't need a pinned comment. Okay? The default should be to not do that unless they specifically have a tag or they tell you that backseat gaming is okay. All right? You coming in and telling somebody how to play a game that they're playing, not fun. Let them play the game. Okay? If you want to play the game yourself. I promise you, nobody likes backseat gaming when it isn't specifically asked for. Okay? Let them play the game. Don't spoil things. Right? Be mindful about spoilers if they're playing a game, especially one that is story driven. Don't assume that they played it before. Okay? Again, if they have tags, that's fantastic. Putting tags like first playthrough or putting it in the title so that you know that it's the first time they played it. But if it doesn't say anything like that, assume it's still the first time they played it. Okay? It's always better to err on the side of caution. Think about your favorite game. Think about your favorite story game that you played, whether that's recently or your favorite of all time. Okay? And imagine what would have happened if when you were playing it, somebody came in halfway through and spoiled the ending for you, and you genuinely didn't know and they ruined it for you. Can you imagine how awful that would be to lose that experience? Okay? Don't do that to other people. Please be mindful about spoilers. If you're not sure, ask. Ask where the line is. Okay? It's like going to see a movie and having somebody ruin the ending for you. Don't do that. Ugh, no one likes it. Okay? Number 3, don't talk about viewer counts or metrics. Again, some places are totally okay with that, and some places might encourage it. There are some spaces that are totally fine with that. However, for the most part, especially with smaller streamers, many of them turn the viewer count off, and many of them don't care. Okay, it's not about the numbers, right? It doesn't matter how many people are there. Don't bring it up unless they do first or they ask you. But if it hasn't been brought up by somebody else, please don't do that. There's a lot of anxiety around viewer counts and metrics and things like that. So just don't do it. Okay. Number 4, I think this is number 4, begging for a sub. Yeah, it's a quick way to get you removed from a community. Don't do it. That's a very Twitch specific thing. People put it in the rules. I don't think anybody should have to put it in the rules. You shouldn't come in and be like, can somebody please give me a sub? Please. Nobody likes that. Okay. Times are tough. It's tough for everybody. Okay. A lot of us can't afford a sub ourselves. All right. It's okay if you can't. You know what you can do? You could watch the ads and support the creator that way. Okay, please don't beg for a sub. People don't like it. You get you removed. It'll leave a bad taste in their mouth. All right. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5. Complaining about ads is also nuisance behavior. It'll probably get you timed out. Okay? Ads are not new. Ads have been around on the platform since the dawn of time. Ads are what keep the platform free. Okay? If a creator is an affiliate or higher, they have to run ads. It's not their choice. How they run the ads is their choice. And we talked about that last week. If you want to see that, you can check out last week's Workshop Wednesday about affiliate and what you do once you get that. But ads are a thing that exist. Okay? Complaining about the ads, it's just annoying. Everyone knows that they're there. It's fine. It's one thing to say, oh, oops, ads. Complaining about them and whining about how long they are. Not cool. No one likes it. Just don't do it. And lastly, don't post links other than clips. Like, it's one thing to post, like, if you clip something and post a link. And that's mostly because, A, it's probably going to get flagged by Automod. Most spaces have, like, the flag for links, so they won't show up anyway. It's also just, like, risky click. It's just, no one knows where that link is going. Sometimes it might be obvious, but, like, just don't post links. Also, don't post links expecting the streamer to be able to, like, watch them right away or, like, click on it, because it's not always as simple as you think, and they might be doing something else. So, like, generally, if you want to post a link, just ask, but it's probably just going to get flagged. Okay? Those are my standards for community members, right? Everything else is going to be very specific to somebody's space, and if they want to specify things, they will in their panels and their rules, etc. Most communities are very welcoming, and they have no problem letting you know what is and isn't allowed in that space, as long as you enter it with respect, right? The same way when you go over to somebody's house for the first time, you don't just assume that you can wear your shoes in the house, for example. You would ask, hey, is it cool if I keep my shoes on? Some people don't like that, right? As long as you enter it with respect and good faith, and you be mindful, you'll have a great time, right? Let the mods handle stuff. when it's needed. If something's coming up, let the mods handle it. Hey, if the mods give you a heads up, hey, don't do that, it's okay. It's fine. It happens. They're just redirecting. Get to know the community. Spend some time. Okay. The number one thing is to read the room. All of these things require you to read the room. Spend a little bit of time. Get familiar with that space before you decide to go all in and engage. Okay. And that's it. You'll have a great time. All right. What's that one? I told you this is a nice, easy one. Most of this is discussion. A lot of this week's workshop is around discussion, and there's nuance and stuff. But talks about community members. We're going to talk about streamers. There's some stuff that streamers do that you shouldn't do as a new streamer, or that they just don't know, right? Or just like should or shouldn't. Everyone's space is kind of their own, but like generally, you're not going to have a good time if you do these things, you know? Okay. So for streamers, just as there's generally accepted etiquette for community members, there are also some guidelines for streamers to follow on the platform. Again, these are general guidelines, and communities may have exceptions to these rules, right? It's not black and white. There's usually a little bit of wiggle room. Okay. Number 1, don't self-promo in other spaces. It's rude. Don't do that. Don't go to somebody else's stream and say, hey, I'm going live. Okay. Don't do that. Get your own space. It's just rude. Don't do it. I don't know what to tell you. Just don't do it. This is a pretty standard one. Everyone knows this for the most part. But if you don't, it's rude. You don't need to bring up the e-stream unless somebody asks you. It's one thing when you come in a raid, right? When you raid somebody and have a conversation. But don't go into random streamer spaces that you don't know and start advertising how you stream. Won't be received well. Number 2, don't call out your lurkers, please. If they want to engage, they'll chat first. Okay, if you don't know what lurkers are people that are watching the stream, but they are not chatting. Okay. Generally, you shouldn't know who your lurkers are. Okay. If you have your viewer list on or you have your chatter list on and you're looking at who's in your chat at any one time, I would encourage you to stop doing that. Turn that off. It's not helpful. It's not in real time. Your chatter list and your viewer list are not the same. And also, it doesn't matter. Okay, don't call it your lurkers. If somebody wants to engage, they'll say something. If they want to lurk, let them lurk. Okay, they're probably doing something else. Maybe they have anxiety. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're not by a keyboard. Maybe they're cleaning the house. I don't know. Don't do it though. If you have a bot that calls out people when they show up in your stream, you can have very few people in your stream. Okay. Can confirm. I have left spaces and unfollowed and never returned for places that call me out the minute that I join. I hate that. Don't force somebody to engage with you when they don't want to. Okay. So turn that off. Don't call out your lurkers. Number 3, watch out for the art scammer bots. If someone shows up in chat asking you to join their Discord server, ban them. They're not real. They're a scammer and or a bot. They are 9 times out of 10 a bot. I know it seems like they're a human. They're not. It's a bot running on a script. If they start saying, and it's not just art scammers. Art scammers are just like really popular. It's usually somebody trying to sell you assets for your stream, or they tell you like, if you join this space, I'm going to help you with your growth strategy or whatever. Okay. Nobody's coming into your space out of nowhere randomly and immediately offering you stuff like that. Okay. They're bots. Get rid of them. Just ban them. Don't entertain them. They're not real people. I promise you, they're not real people. So just don't entertain it and ban them. Fun fact, you can also get rid of a lot of these by setting your chat verification settings a little bit higher. If you have a required verified email and you set like a phone number to at least, I'd say like a month. I think I have mine on a month. Maybe not even, maybe 2 weeks. But if you have them require a phone number if their account is not XYZ amount old, you really won't get most of these because they're usually like bot accounts that get banned so fast that there's new ones. They don't have phone numbers. So that's a really easy way to just not see them. They just won't be able to chat. So there's your pro tip of the day. Number 4, please be careful who you mod in your channel. Make sure it's someone you know well and you can trust. Okay. If somebody is being really pushy and demanding you to mod them, I wouldn't do it. That would be a red flag for me that I simply wouldn't. It should be someone that you know well enough and can trust. It shouldn't be somebody who just showed up in your stream. A lot of times when you're a smaller streamer, you can manage chat on your own. You can moderate on your own until you get to a point where you have somebody that, like, ideally it's someone, if you have a friend IRL, like a friend or a partner that you can mod that can just handle it if need be. That would be great. Someone that you've known for a while. Just please be careful who you mod in your channel, especially when you start growing a community and your mods are in your Discord space and you're kind of trying to grow more of that community feel. Your mods are a representation of you, right? Your mods are, or sorry, a reflection is the word. They're a reflection of you. And if you have a bad mod and you don't know what they're doing, it's not a good time. So please just be mindful who you mod on your channel. Okay. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5, high quip. Enjoy your lurk. Number 5, avoid follow for follow communities. It will not help. It is not useful for meaningful growth. Please stop. Please stop. Don't encourage them. They're not helpful. Okay. Follow for follow is useless. It inflates your numbers and it does nothing to help you. Okay. Same with the like watch for watch communities that are like, oh, like I'll watch your stream if you watch mine and all of that stuff. None of that is helpful. It gives you a lot of people that are not actually invested in your content. They are not interested in your community. They are not going to stick around. They are there because it gets them something. And at the end of the day, it's there to help the people that organize it, not the people that come into it. So please avoid anything that's follow for follow. It really does not help. It's just going to inflate your numbers. You are not actually going to have people that want to spend time there. It's not going to lead to meaningful growth. Please don't do it. Same with the raid for raid, like all that stuff. Please don't do that. You want people that actually want to spend time in your community, okay? People that actually enjoy your content and enjoy your personality and enjoy what you're doing and they want to be there and hang out and spend time. You don't want a bunch of empty follows that do nothing for you, okay? Just avoid it. It's really tempting in early days to see if you can get affiliate faster and to feel like you're doing something and it feels like networking, but it's not. Okay, that's not proper networking. We're going to talk about that in another workshop, but just know that it's not going to help you. Okay, I would rather you had no viewers than do follow for follow. I promise. There are better ways to grow. We can talk about that later. Okay. And lastly, if you're going to use AI for your assets, be honest about it so your community can make an informed decision about supporting you. Okay, it is not my call to decide what you feel comfortable with. Okay, AI is something that's not going away. It is only going to increase. Everyone has their own opinions on it. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions on it. Okay. I don't have to agree. I just need to be aware. Informed consent. Okay. If you're going to use AI for your assets, be honest about it. Don't try to say that it's not. First of all, we know. Okay. I know that you're using AI because we can tell. Okay, for now. The scary part is that AI is getting better, but at least be upfront about it because people should be able to make the decision of whether they want to spend time in that space. Okay, personally, if you're using AI for all of your stuff, it's not a space that I want to be in. It's not something I want to collaborate on. It's not really a space that I'm comfortable in. Okay, as somebody who does art and has a lot of artist friends that are phenomenally better than I am. Okay, I don't like it. I don't want to support it. So just be upfront about it. It's okay. You don't have to agree with everybody on it. All right. If that's something that you're informed about and you want to use that, cool. Again, it's just about making sure everybody is aware so they can make the right decisions. Okay. Most important thing though is being yourself. I know it sounds cliche and everyone says that. Everyone says just be yourself. But like it's the truth though. People want to make genuine connections. They want to engage with real people, especially on Twitch specifically. If I wanted to just learn the information without a personality, I could go to YouTube and find a tutorial that just teaches me. If I wanted to just see the gameplay of the game, again, there's Let's Plays that are just gameplay. There are avenues for that. Generally, if somebody is on Twitch, it's because they want to make an actual connection with a real person in real time. Okay, your best selling feature is you. Just be yourself. Also, it's exhausting to not be yourself. You know, unless you want to play a character that's different. If you like acting, right, and you have built a character and you are genuinely like trying to be an entirely different person. It's a whole shtick, right? There are people that do that. That's a little different, but like, don't just be yourself. You don't have to be like everybody else. That's so boring. Okay. If you're just honestly yourself, the people that stick around are going to be people that genuinely get along with you, that you genuinely have good conversations with, and that like the content that you put out, you're going to have a better time. Okay. That's it. That's your big stuff. There's other little things here and there, and we'll talk about them when we discuss stuff, but that's like your main stuff for streamers, is like the basics. Okay. Now we get to the weird one. Because obviously, if you're engaging with people in real time in the year 2026, we have to talk about boundaries and parasocial interactions because it's a whole thing that's happening. So we're going to talk about it. This is going to be a bit more of a discussion. Again, if you're here live while we're doing the workshop, we can discuss this at length for the next forever after the presentation. If you're watching this on YouTube, I do encourage you to leave comments and chat with each other in the comments below. You can also join us live if you would like to have these conversations in real time. It's every Wednesday at 6 p.m. CST. So we're going to talk about boundaries and parasocial interactions. It's not fun. Nobody likes this. Okay. So whether you're a streamer or you're just a community member, boundaries are important. These boundaries can be tricky to define when you're a small streamer. In my personal opinion, you're entitled to your own. I'm not here to change your mind. The rules are different when you're a small streamer as opposed to a large creator with a massive following. I'm going to tell you why. Just stick with me, okay? Let me plead my case. As a small streamer, I really do know my community very well, okay? We have the ability to engage with each other in a way that large creators simply cannot due to the size of their community. This can sometimes make it challenging to maintain boundaries, but it is important to do so whenever possible. Okay. There is a different relationship that a small streamer can have with their community because they really do get to chat with them in real time and get to know them versus somebody who's got thousands of viewers. And I don't like saying viewers, right? But you got thousands of people in that chat. You don't know them all. There's no way that you could possibly know all of them. There's too many. It's a numbers game. Okay. So I think there is a different relationship with boundaries and the concept of like parasocial behavior depending on the size. Okay. So while many connections can be formed online, it is equally as important to step away from the screen and engage with the people in your life offline. All right. Again, we're going to expand on this. So parasocial, that's the big buzzword lately. It's become quite a buzzword in recent years with influencer culture growing. Please remember that you only know someone as much as they allow you to online. Okay. If you feel like you're going to attach to a streamer, or a community member, or you're finding it hard to define your boundaries, consider stepping away for a little while. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So to finish all off, please just be mindful that the parasocial boundary stuff is going to be different if you have a small streamer. Okay. You just want to make sure that you're always being mindful, regardless, whether it's with a community member or with a streamer or anything online. Maybe you're watching a TikToker, etc. You only know as much as that person allows you to. Okay. Some people are really, really forthcoming and they share everything about their life, but not everybody does. So being mindful that you are only getting what they present to you, right? Like the Instagram feed is a highlight reel and it's not showing everything most of the time. Again, it's a spectrum. Some people are more open than others. But if you feel like you're getting too attached or you find that your emotions are stronger than maybe they should be, you feel like you're getting more upset if a streamer cancels a stream, right? Or maybe you're overly excited when they start a stream to a point where, like, if it's consuming too much of your offline time, and that goes for anything, not just Twitch, that's anything online. If you find that it is consuming more of your brain power than it should, if it's the only thing that you think about, etc., just there's nothing wrong with taking a step away from the screen. Just taking a little break. Okay, take a little bit of time from your, you can say, hey, I had to go take care of me for a little bit. The best communities are going to absolutely understand that. Same with streamers are going to absolutely understand that. If you need to take a step away for a little bit and you just kind of like get your bearings, right? That's okay. You should always take care of you first. Some people say, what is it, IRL before URL? You have to prioritize you above all else. If somebody doesn't appreciate that and somebody gets upset that you're maintaining your boundaries, not a space you want to be in. So just be mindful. Okay. That's all. That's a bigger conversation, but you know, that's the highlights. But that's it. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can leave stuff in the comments if you have questions, things you want me to cover in future workshops, etc. And if you're watching live, we're going to yap about it for like 2 hours. We're going to have a great time. But that's it. You did it. Congrats. This one wasn't so bad.